Welcome to another week at the Cottage flip. Demolition continues as the front of the exterior has been removed for a new foundation, siding, door, and windows. While I wait on the bigger jobs to be completed, I'm getting a head start on smaller projects. These wood nightstands came with the house, and I gave them a new look with Valspar's cracked pepper and finished them off with some 25-cent thrift store knobs. Another recent thrift store find was this antique mirror, which I've started refinishing and plan to hang it above the clawfoot tub in the bathroom upstairs. Speaking of the upstairs bathroom, I focused my attention here last weekend with a tub and shower fixture makeover, and today I'm going to show you how to transform your polished brass from shiny and new to an aged patina almost instantly. This 1960s home was filled with brass, and I wanted to keep the original character, but in a more subtle way. The clawfoot tub came with really nice hardware, but the polished brass was too stark for my liking, so I found a brass aging solution online for $11 and decided to give it a try. This process will work with any brass, as long as it's real and not the cheap faux gold-plated stuff. This is a simple procedure with smaller hardware like knobs and handles, and it's ideal for those since you can easily submerge them into your aging solution for super quick results. But I couldn't do that with the large pieces, so it definitely takes more time and patience. Real brass has an invisible clear coating to protect the metal from tarnishing, so you'll need to remove that first. One way to do this is by sanding it off, which I would do if I had to do it all over again, but I wanted to make sure it was completely removed, so I used paint stripper. The only other supplies you'll need for this are a mix of fine grit sandpaper and steel wool, aging solution, a paintbrush, and sponge brush if your piece is large. If you're using paint stripper, you'll want to brush it on as thick as possible and completely coat the metal. The thicker it is, the better it'll work. Set your timer for 30 minutes and test a small area by scrubbing with steel wool or an abrasive pad. If it doesn't easily remove, add more paint stripper and keep waiting. I actually left mine on overnight to be safe. Once it starts bubbling, then you know it's ready. There will most likely still be stubborn areas, so you'll just have to use a bit of elbow grease and keep scrubbing until it's completely removed. This is why it's probably easier to skip this step and just use sandpaper. Once the clear coat's gone, you're ready for the fun part. Pour some of the aging solution into a container and grab your sponge brush. If your pieces are small enough to fit in your container, you can submerge them completely and let the solution work its magic. For larger pieces, dip your sponge into the solution and coat your metal. It will take a bit longer, but you'll notice the color begin to change. The brass will become darker where there's a higher concentration of the solution, so if you want an even look, then you'll have to continuously brush it on so it doesn't pool up anywhere. But if there are streaks or areas that are too dark, you can easily remove it by gently rubbing it off with steel wool. I spent about an hour coating, sanding, and repeating until getting the color and patina I wanted. The metal will naturally continue to age over time for an even more authentic look. This entire project took about 6 hours, with the majority of it spent removing the clear coat. But now I have a one-of-a-kind bath hardware set that you can't buy in stores, and for just $11. Stay tuned next week where I'll be back with part 2 of this makeover, testing out new painting techniques on the tub and feet. If you want to see more tutorials like this and stay updated on the Cottage flip progress, make sure to click subscribe and then head to my blog for more details, sources, and links. See you back here next week.